Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group. Joining me this week, as always, is...
your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the Tim Allen of the show.
Uh-oh. And...
the William H. Macy of the show. Sorry, I was too busy shaking my head.
SMH.
Yeah, Evan Aubrey. Here we go.
Is that what that stands for?
Shaking my head, Jeremy.
Sorry,
shaking my head.
Hold on. Jeremy, what do you think it stands for?
I've never really thought about it.
You just said, like, SMH.
Yeah, that's, I'm gonna level up the listeners. Cancel me again. A lot of times when I don't even like, it's like, look, it's a linguistic thing where you're like reading and you don't even like think about like how you pronounce a word. It just becomes the word that you look at. Like it's how you like people pronounce the word segue incorrectly.
So you were
like Sagoo.
So you read that in your mind as like phonetically SMH, like sm.
Yeah, and I get that it's just kind of like a whatever kind of situation, but I didn't even really like care to think about like what the letters stood for beyond a certain point.
So
Smeh.
What do you think LOL means?
That means love out loud, Ben.
Live out, laugh.
And love out.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Lamau? Do you ever drop a Lamau, Jeremy? You don't seem
Okay.
like a Lamau.
I'm a Lamau man myself. I'm a little bit of a Lamau man myself. Yeah,
Which
I know
stands
what that means.
for
Laughing my ass off.
You know, I took a raffle break for a while, and Ian hit me with it the most recently. Ian's the raffle copter in the group.
That's undisputable.
Yeah.
You know, people are always like, oh, I identify as an attack helicopter. I identify as a raffle copter.
Wow.
Damn, it's really like 2009 back in here now.
Yeah.
You got any more fun internet slang you want to throw at me, Ben?
Oh man, I was gonna see in my mind. I was gonna like when we got to this part in the joke, I would have like a little fun like cheat sheet with like some really old classics. But then I kind of gave up on that idea and just opened my beer instead. So
Cheers to that.
You know that gets a smeh from me, Ben.
Jeremy, I'm going to hit you with one more. Colon, inside parenthesis.
That gets a really a colon caret 3 from me.
Wow.
nice.
That's a thinker.
This is quality fucking audio right here.
Nothing lands better than text-based humor.
Yes.
Especially
Punctuation-based humor.
Yeah.
You know something
Unicode-based humor.
it's something I'm concerned about is that the Utes, they have fucking video, emojis. They don't understand the joy of a rafflecopter. They don't get the fun, like they don't even know like text speak per se.
But
like,
they did.
It's all nothing.
They did invent. Well, I don't know if it was them, but like that really buff rabbit holding a sign that was popular on X was like pretty popular among the youths. You know?
I see
about?
that. Yes, that's kind of like ASCII art, copy pasta.
Yes.
Or the one where it's like a really tall tower and then there's a small rabbit coming out from the side that has a sign. That one's also enjoyable. Ben now looks confused.
So you just said like you just said, the downfall of our society basically is emojis and videos, which just made me need to look up what year the Emoji Movie came out, just to make sure that I wasn't crazy.
Can I guess the year the Emoji Movie came out?
Please.
Is it 2016?
Any other takers? Anyone think it's not 2016?
Did it come out the same year as Donald Trump's presidency began?
I think it's later.
Is it later or is it earlier?
I remember the McElroy brothers discussing the movie.
Let me find the exact date. Okay, I have the exact date.
All right. What's the exact date, Ben?
Okay. The Emoji Movie came out on July 28th, 2017.
Oh, pretty good.
It's close.
Pretty good.
I I knew it was early, like early Trump 1 kind of feeling where it's like, this is society. It was like a real Joker moment.
Right.
You're like, this is how we live now kind of situation.
But now kids who grew up with that as like their favorite movie, they're like teenagers now.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I hate thinking about the passage of time. You know, someone was pointing out today, boop, 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 the news is happening. Switch 2, it's now been confirmed that's going to be announced this week. Someone pointed out on the internet, exactly 8 years ago was when the release date of the Switch was announced this week. And so I remember very specifically, me and Ian watched the presentation where they announced the price and stuff for the Switch in my like dorm room in college, and they announced the video game ARMS, and Ian was like, "You gonna buy that one?" And I was like, "No, that kind of seems stupid."
You know, well, joke's on you, Jeremy, because I did buy that one.
Yeah. Still plays it to this day.
I did boot it up, not like within the last year, just to see if it held up.
How were your arms doing?
Strong.
Okay.
Strong.
Extra stretchy.
Yeah, I think it's a good game.
State of Arms is strong.
There are worse ones.
I'm honestly, I think it has its qualities. I'm just not big in like the outside of like a Smash Brothers. I'm not big in the kind of like competitive fighting game space kind of situation.
Is it competitive?
I guess it's not. How many people did you play against?
In my living room.
But it shows that life is cyclical. And 8 years ago, this week, they are telling us about the Switch 1, and 8 years ago, not 8 years ago, but 8 years later, they're telling us about the Switch 2. So there you go, boom.
Ben,
they just keep telling us these things.
Are we gonna have an 8 days later announcement?
Oh, like 28 days later kind of situation. Yeah. Like it's like 28, because obviously 28 years later is coming out this year. So they should make like one of them trailers where like the zombies, but the zombies are playing video games. That's why they're zombies. Instead of a rage virus, it's the virus of media. It really makes you think.
They're all playing on like iPod touches or something.
Yes. Hell yeah. Because the world ended a long time ago, so like they're all stuck in that time period.
Now that really makes you think.
Yeah, that really makes you fucking
think. Maybe we're
think.
the zombies.
Yes.
Ben?
Yeah. I will say 28 years later, small side tangent in this tangent. Funny joke that the director talked about is that it's still in the context of the movie world, a zombie problem mostly contained to the United Kingdom. Like the rest of the world, mostly fine, but the UK, they're like, oh, we're just gonna not deal with that kind of situation and not go there.
They really Brexited before it was cool.
Yeah, they Brexited themselves out of society with that one kind of situation.
Ben, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Mission Brewing Shipwrecked double IPA.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
a little pirate
on it.
It's got a very like clean pirate aesthetic to it. Which
I thought you were going to say it has a clean pirate taste, and I was like, most pirates were not clean.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that it tastes clean at all, actually. It kind of tastes a little briny almost, if I'm going to be honest.
In fact, I think you could argue that pirates taste like an IPA.
True.
It's where the flavor profile
Does that
comes
drink
from.
shiver your timbers?
Yes.
Shiver my timbers. Oh, that's such a good like test for especially a double IPA because it's so strong. This does shiver my timbers, I will say. And it makes me think that IPA has to stand for something, but it has to stand for like International Pirate Ale.
Association.
Yeah,
Association.
The International Pirate Association. I think their drink of choice would be grog. I don't know if they're big beer heads aboard ye olde pirate ship.
What?
Jeremy.
What is grog?
I think it's like rum.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna reprimand you because everyone knows that a pirate's favorite drink is rum. But if grog and rum are one and the same,
a drink made by mixing liquor like rum with water.
With water,
gotta stay hydrated, folks.
Yes,
Girl.
I think
that's not a drink. You're just like cutting it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the idea, is that, long ship voyages, you want to, like, kind of preserve the amount of alcohol that you have, kind of situation.
that
so
makes
you cut it
sense.
with water.
I thought a pirate's favorite drink was high C.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, woohoo! That's a good one.
You know that one for free.
Yeah.
Someone on Reddit is like, what's the ABV of grog?
Whatever
Shut
you want
up.
it to be.
You don't care. You really don't.
You tell him.
But yes, it's basically rum. Yeah.
What do you got, Ian?
In one hand, I have mint tea.
Nice. And in
Moroccan
the other?
mint tea, Trader Joe's. The other hand, I have water.
Water.
Oh, you could say
Nice
that
talk.
you could grog it up right here, right now.
Yeah, you can cut your tea with that.
Mint grog.
Oh,
The more that I think about it, like, grog is kind of like the sloppy steaks of drinks.
grog it up.
Grog it up!
Do you think could you go to like a bar and be like, can I get some grog?
I think if you said that, the bartender would just probably like give you like a cup filled with just like the extra leavings of other drinks, like the excess of like, vodka, rum.
There is like
all that kind of stuff.
There is a pirate themed tiki bar in San Francisco. I should go ask. They would know.
But you could
You
be
keep
like,
your best grog.
Yeah.
you could order like a nice drink at like a restaurant. Like you're at a nice restaurant and you order a nice drink. Imagine Ben ordered that smoky drink that they got at the Coyote Cafe. Comes with like a jar
Mezcal
of smoke.
Negroni.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mezcal
The one I dream
Negroni.
about.
Yeah, and you're like, time to fucking grog it up, and then you pour a glass of water on top of it.
The waiter like just finished pouring the smoke and doing the whole experience, and you're like, you know what would make this better?
If it was grogged.
Wow.
I mean, okay, I also was thinking in the middle of all that, shots of grog shots, if you will, could be the best way the cheapest way to party and hydrating at the same time. It's like, I don't know. I think this could be something. I feel good
instead
about
of like
this,
a drop
actually.
shot where you put a shot in beer, it's just you put a shot in water.
Yeah.
The grog
Just drink
shot.
your glass of water with your shot at the same time. That way it all evens out. That's what they tell you.
Interesting. I feel like there's a certain point where like the water ratio is too high, right? And it tastes like ass.
Oh yeah. But that's what grog's all about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think they're like. I think ass was like an improvement at a certain point. You know what I'm saying?
Really going after the pirate's life tonight.
Pirates,
I'm gonna love
love
with
that
you guys.
booty. Just saying.
That's true. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm glad I don't live like that. It seems really dangerous and stressful and exhausting.
All right. Jeremy doesn't want to live in a boathouse and water down his alcohol.
Yep.
I know the
That's
parrot.
true. I don't want to do that. You got me.
You don't want to live in a semi-equal lateral like society aboard a ship.
Here's the thing: is we've got
scurvy mates about you.
I see. Here's
Like,
the
come
problem:
on.
is that I can live in a semi-equilateral society now, and I have indoor plumbing.
But this one involves like grand theft
Oh.
and like doing a lot of crimes on the high
Exciting.
seas.
Yeah, but I can get shot easily.
With
Well, I
way
can get
more
shot
scurvy.
easily now too. See, this is the problem. You see, I think my big thing is that I can poop on a toilet now.
That's the big thing.
It is kind of a big thing. I'm not gonna level with. I'm gonna level with you guys.
Okay.
It makes living in the present very nice.
Pirate version though. Mm-hmm. Poop deck.
Poop in the ocean.
Sounds pretty great.
Poop in the ocean.
I mean, you just jump in the ocean, do your business, come back on. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Get eaten by a shark. Boom.
I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean. They have fun in that movie.
They do have fun. They have swashbuckling adventures.
Oh, my buckles could finally be swashed. I don't know about you guys, but maybe that I saw a movie a couple of weeks ago. I saw a movie version of Count of Monte Cristo. I was walking into the theater. I was like, my buckles better be swashed by this movie. And when it came out of the theater, I was like, my buckles were suitably sloshed. There was a
Suitably
sword
swashed.
fight and a duel and like people riding on boats and finding treasure and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I would like to ride on a boat, go to a mysterious island, go into a catacomb, perhaps see some like piles of gold inside said catacomb, and then use that money to completely reinvent my identity to exact my revenge.
But you don't want to be a pirate.
No, I don't.
A pirate's life is not for you.
Not for me.
Yo-ho.
Riding the Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland, I'm like, no, thank you. And I fold my arms.
Not for me.
You go through the part where they project like Davy Jones onto the waterfall, and you're like, nope, sorry, not today.
Yes, I'm
See,
closing
this is
my
why I will
eyes.
never be a pirate.
Yes.
Fake.
This isn't even real. Those aren't people.
Look, you can clearly see the projector right there.
They're robots. How can they know what being a pirate is like?
Oh man.
Oh,
Well,
I did
not
not know where this was going.
me neither. I'm glad that we have so much pirate content in the chambers, though.
Yeah.
Anytime I want to come back to something, we're like, nothing's clicking. Pirates.
Yes.
Good to know. I also want to push back on Jeremy though a little bit, because I remember, I don't know if that's what you're drinking right now, but I remember that you did say at some point that you had a bunch of novelty sodas. And you haven't been drinking them.
Well, I drank my novelty sodas over the holiday break.
You drank all of them?
Off screen.
There was only
Off
4.
screen.
That was 6 weeks ago.
Well,
This is a pecan beer that I'm drinking.
no, nobody cares about that. Let's get back to this. You're telling me that when you're not on the show, you don't go into the closet and put yourself up on the hooks and just sit there until the next episode.
Power down.
Yeah, no, unfortunately that doesn't happen. And the novelty sodas, by stint of the fact that they were like, we weren't going to record episodes for a couple of weeks after I got them. And their expiration dates were in late December. I was like, I don't want these sodas to go bad.
That's a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the storytelling device of Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. I like the storytelling device of Chekhov's rum on this pirate-themed episode of I Choose You.
Jeremy, if we were on a ship right now recording this podcast, you'd be walking the fucking plank.
But okay, so let me just explain this concept a little bit. Like you on the show were like, I have these 4 novelty sodas, and they're ranked from least crazy to most crazy flavor, and we had you drink the horchata soda. Ha ha ha. It was
Very
great time.
good. Yeah.
For all the listener knows, those sodas have been living off camera for nigh upon months, but it doesn't fucking matter because they're living in their head. You've told them there are sodas in the vicinity, and then you don't open them. That's like, it's
You've broken our continuity.
Yeah.
exactly. So I just want
We
you to think
retcon
about
this podcast.
think about your actions, because like this is just like fucking the Starbucks cup in the Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is just
Sorry, what's that?
takes people out of the experience, and
Yeah.
I just have to apologize.
Wait,
for
Ian,
that.
did you not hear about the Starbucks cup?
No.
Oh, so it's very well known. I mean, it's gone now because they found out about it and removed it later. But like, someone on set left a Starbucks cup in some like set piece, and it was on the that episode aired. Like, people were like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Yeah.
It's just like
That's awesome. Jeremy,
I'm gonna look. We declared in the first episode of the year, this is the year that I get canceled. And I think each episode I have to provide a new reason for you to cancel me, non-criminal division.
And then halfway
And-
through is your like redemption arc.
Yeah. And then they come back.
so is it like... I guess I didn't realize that because this really isn't an arc. It's just like serialized where every episode we cancel you for something good unrelated to the last.
cancel being used very loosely.
Yeah. Because you keep
Well,
coming back.
I'm
You
here-
keep coming
yeah, I
back.
keep
You
coming-
still hold all the power.
And much like on a pirate ship, I'm the real captain here kind of situation.
Famously
you all
from
think you're-
that movie, the line
Yeah.
was, "I'm the real captain here."
Yeah, it's like that guy was like, "I'm the captain now," and Tom Hanks was like, "No, not really." Okay, well, Let's talk about cooking and eating Pokemon then. That's the name of the game on I Choose You. Each week we randomly select a Pokemon to cook and prepare for you most deliciously. Then we submit our recipes to one another, and then we talk about who has the best one and vote upon it. This week's randomly selected Pokemon is Revavroom. It's a car, or I guess it's kind of like a go-kart.
It's a motorcycle.
Quad cycle?
It's a motorcycle.
It is a motorcycle. I guess it has 4 wheels, though, which I usually don't think of as a motorcycle having.
Where's the 4th wheel?
Well, it's got one underneath each section.
Supposedly, it
Looks
could
like
be
two
one of
in-
those weird tricycles.
Yeah, I see
Oh,
2 in
yeah.
the front.
Yeah, it could be like a chopper or something. No, because it's got 4 wheels. It has wheel wells on both 2 wheel wells on both sides of its body.
It does give Batmobile vibes.
It does.
Oh,
It does look
shit.
it does look like the Batmobile.
Do you think Batman doesn't exist in the Pokemon world, right?
No, unfortunately not.
Gold Batman.
Zoo Batman? Oh.
Nice.
It's not that we're aware of. No. So Ian,
would
what are you
really
saying
make
is
things
someone should pull a Zol Batman and
Well, there's a lot of really eccentric wealthy person in the Pokemon world, right?
why isn't
True.
Giovanni Batman?
Maybe he is.
Never see him in the same place at the same time.
It's tricky because we know in the Pokemon world that for some reason, you can reference things like, Hollywood, the Minnesota Vikings, and New York City. So at least some elements of our world have interceded into the Pokemon world. And if Hollywood's there, I'd imagine Batman might have made an impact. Obviously, Batman's a very successful film star. But I don't think it's gotten that far where people have emulated Batman's style of vigilantism in Viridian City.
I guess there's no Gotham version of the Pokemon world, so maybe they don't need that hero, right?
Yeah, it is funny to think about what place in the Pokemon world would someone be like, the city's dark soul needs me to come out at night and avenge its citizenry.
Yeah, I don't think we reach those levels of organized crime in the Pokemon world. The level that it's just not. We haven't gotten there yet. No one's dared to take the Pokemon world to that gritty,
Yes,
fucking fucked up shit. But
yeah,
maybe one day.
I would agree with you. Though I will say, Ben, the amount of organized crime in the Pokemon world is astonishing.
There's a lot of it, but
all
it's not to the
organized, in
same
yeah.
extent where
Yeah.
people are getting fucking shot up at Italian.
Yeah,
food
we need a
restaurants.
third-person Pikachu beat-em-up game.
Yeah. Where's the penguin? We've got penguins, but where's the penguin?
Pikachu
in-
Arkham Asylum.
Yes, there you go.
Shit.
Who would say you want to know how I got these scars in the Pokemon? Which Pokemon would say that?
Well, I'm picturing
Scythor.
Machoke.
it's the Joker, but his face is painted like a Voltorb or something.
Yeah.
Or is it
Ben,
Mr. Mime all along?
Yeah, it is
Oh,
Mr. Mime
it is.
all along.
Fuck.
But Ben, you said Machoke, and Ian, you said Joker, so Machoker, I think would be good.
Machoker.
Hardly know her.
Nice.
No.
So, but I don't know if this has anything to do with anyone's recipe, and if it does, I want to go straight into it. But upon first viewing the Revavroom, where did you imagine the mouth was in this equation? Because reading the Bulbapedia page definitely surprised me.
Does the Bulbapedia page say it's the top thing?
The Bulbapedia page says it's the top thing.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
Okay.
imagining the barrel end of a gun looking thing.
Yes.
below
The exhaust pipe in the front of your car, a great place to have that.
looks frightened.
Yeah.
It does.
I think that's like its false mouth, so it can trick predators.
But-
Fair point.
But how do we feel about this? Because, in a post-Cars world, I don't know if I can really understand what they're going for. It's
Ian, you're a
one-eyed,
Cars
first of all.
expert.
True.
Can you understand what they're going for by putting the mouth on top?
Yeah, senior
instead of
Cars
underneath the
correspondent
eyes?
Ian Davis.
Yeah. Ka-chow, and welcome to Cars Correspondent.
Yeah, glad to be here with you guys. Sorry for what I'm about to say, but The top thing, it's kind of like a Venus flytrap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the tailpipe, that is the Revavroom.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say.
Out and about.
Just
Yeah.
out
sorry to
and
say.
about. I don't like reporting it. But as a journalist, I
have to.
yeah.
And that's the way the cookie
Unbiased.
crumbles.
Yes. And this has been Cars Report. Ka-chow.
And now you know the rest of the story.
So Ben, how did it make you feel?
Oh, knowing that its mouth was not
Oh,
in the
yeah.
right place, it disturbed me greatly. I didn't get to Revavroom levels of disturbed, but I was disturbed, and it made me think: do I know anything about this Pokemon? Really?
And what did you think? Oh, I thought you were going to go into your recipe from there. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't win last time.
No, Ian, you won last time. So why don't you tell us what your recipe is?
I will. I also want to point out it's the multi-sill Pokemon, which is like cylinder, right?
Yes.
Do you think there's like if we put a fedora on it, we could get like an in-sill?
Oh, yes.
As
Oh no.
in-cylinder engine.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
Appreciate that. That's why you guys keep me around.
Yeah.
Revavroom, I'm glad you guys still think it's a motorcycle. Because when I saw it and I'm like, oh, this is a fucking like car engine, and Jeremy kept saying motorcycle, and I didn't even look at it before I got here. Egg on my face for being fucking Tim the Toolman Allen. Naturally, we got to cook this wild hog.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
Hog type.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Hog type.
It's hog time. And I found for you a recipe for wild hog barbecue. Now,
Nice.
this guy on honest-food.net.
I wish it was .net.
That would be good. For .naturals.
Yes.
He talks a lot about how wild hogs tend to be a lot tougher. They're generally older than the soft pig we are used to eating. And and I believe he calls them natural athletes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And with each one of those descriptions, the image of Tim Allen becomes clearer and clearer in your mind.
Natural athlete.
older.
Gets older over time.
One of those I believe to be true.
Yes.
They don't have a lot of fat on them. They're pretty lean, and because of all that muscle, pretty like sinewy.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Tim Allen's
It's
sinewy.
like Tim Allen.
Just like so, you have to break it down, and salt is the secret. Okay.
Oh.
This is a direct quote. Sprinkle salt all over the pork shoulder, getting it into every crevice.
Oh.
Every crevice.
For at least 1 hour and up to 3 days.
It's a
Whoa,
pretty big
okay.
time difference.
Gotta break that shit down.
So you're salting that meat for 3 whole days.
Yep. Rinse the Revavroom, coat it with a dry rub of our choice.
Your choice or our choice?
Yeah, you're right. My choice. I'm gonna go with just like a nice black pepper.
Ooh, nice.
Just
Okay,
keeping it like
cool, yeah.
clean, you know?
Clean.
You get the smoker going, which I mentioned we could just get like a second Revavroom to smoke it in. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
a car engine.
Oh,
I'm
You
saying?
like squeeze like liquid smoke into the gas tank instead of like gas.
And then that like smokes out the Vrussi. I don't know. I don't know how. I'm not going to pretend like I know how this car works. Get the smoker going. 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Flip it every hour so it gets even smoke. You want to get the smoke into every crevice.
right.
Now wrap the meat tightly in the foil and continue to cook until it's done. and is shreddable. You shred it. He claims that like because it's a natural athlete, I think you don't even need barbecue sauce. Like it's gonna have this like quote fierce flavor,
like Gatorade level of fierce.
And you win the big game, and they just slap you up with a big
barbecue
shredded barbecue pork.
Nice. Instead of pouring it on you, they bring like a trough and they push you into it.
Oh.
But no, we are gonna put like a nice tangy barbecue sauce on that. Make sliders.
Nice.
And go save a small New Mexico town.
Yeah.
So it's the meat and the method is what you're saying. The Pokemon.
Yes. If it was a rapper, it would be the method meat.
Okay.
He's using the meat from one Revavroom and then using another Revavroom to cook that previous.
It's a method to your meatness.
Yes.
Man, how is that not a fucking website we've read a recipe off of?
Oh man, of all of the like kind of silly food blogs that we've found over the years, that seems like something that should already exist.
Yeah.
Method to your
my
meatness.
Yeah. Well, Ian, I'm really glad you brought up Wild Hogs because I was in the same headspace.
Yeah, you said you're William H. Macy's star of Wild Hogs.
Yes. And I believe at one point, it might even be when they go to said small New Mexican town, they go into a bar. And what do they order at said bar? I don't, I'm presupposing this is what they order at said bar because I don't remember. It's been so long. What other drink than the Wild Hog?
Whoa.
Oh.
So that is half an ounce of vodka, half an ounce of amaretto, half an ounce of coffee liqueur, and half an ounce of spiced rum.
That's wild.
Whoa, shit.
So that
Kind of pirate coded a little bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit.
It's got that rum in it.
And so this is I'm basically presupposing that like pieces of it, maybe toward the back. This is a drink best served on the rocks.
Uh-huh.
It is steel type, but there could be a few kind of rock coated things in there. It looks like So you break a couple of those off. You chill it, throw them in the freezer so it doesn't dilute your drink, right? And then you put those in your nice glass. You use the Revavroom engine to kind of shake your cocktail about. You pour all the things into the gaskets, and then out the front comes your drink at the end. And there you go.
So you're using the Revavroom. So Ian's using it as a smoker. You're using it as like a drink mixer.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. You put it in there like, and it's like, and then it like spits it out.
It's like a NutriBullet for your drinks. Yeah,
That's awesome.
More comments than questions.
Okay, great.
Have you considered this? Wild grog.
I mean, put some water in there.
Yeah.
That's all you need, really.
Also,
all you need is just add a little bit of water. You step to the bar, and the bartender's like, "My little secret, just make it a nice grog night." And he just gives you a glass of water for every drink that you got.
grog it up.
Yeah.
Take $2 off. Grog it up.
Yeah.
Also, that was a question. Just saying.
Yeah, do you have any more comments, Ian? Fuck.
I searched method to your meatness just to see if that exists.
What do we got?
It doesn't. But
We gotta buy that domain. Hold on.
but the AI overview from Google says method to your meatness is a playful phrase that essentially means to have a well thought out approach or strategy when cooking meat.
Shut up.
Method,
You've made it less funny by explaining it.
Method to your meat. NESS dot
Gov.
Meat.
Dot meat. Invalid top level domain name.
Damn.
Can we record like a cover of the Madness song "Our House"? But instead of saying "our house" in the middle of the street, we say "our house" in the middle of the meat.
We could. Method to your meatness.com, only $10.
Oh,
How can I not buy?
they're begging us. They're on their hands and knees.
Yeah, GoDaddy's like, give me some money for this one.
so fucking good.
God, can we? We're gonna have a whole tab dedicated to like humiliating meat.
And we can. I think I've refined, Ben, your joke from earlier. Instead of a Method Man, who would be our rapper name. I think Method Man, Meathead. Whatever. That the refinement has ended.
It's ended.
Yes.
It's done.
Yes.
It's over.
Can we? I propose we disband the Discord and set up Method to Your Meatness as like a '90s chat room.
Oh,
like,
yes.
It's an AOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a chat forum.
And what we just talked about our different meatness.
No, it's like effectively the Discord, but just far clunkier and harder to use.
Or do I just set it up as a permanent redirect to Meatspin?
Can you set it up so it's a 50-50 shot of either going to Meatspin or our website?
50-50 shot. Wow.
Can you do that?
I'm sure
Can you
could.
make websites like that?
You can. You totally can.
All right, Ben, do you have a good recipe this week?
I think I've got a pretty good recipe this week. I also was thinking about doing a beverage because I noticed that it talked a lot about how the biology of the Revavroom produces some sort of liquid, poisonous liquids and whatnot, which to me sounds like alcohol. So I was also kind of in the same line. And I was looking at the meat of the Pokemon, which to me looks mostly like the tubing and like the mechanical metal parts. So I was thinking that you could, what I'm pitching to you is to create a whole distillery of alcohols that uses the tubing of the Revavroom to make the drums and all of the pipes and all that shit.
Okay.
Because it will enhance the, like how sometimes they have like whiskeys or something like, in casks of like certain barrels or whatever. This is kind of like the same idea, except it's going to distill in metal that has the poison of a Revavroom.
Okay.
Poisonous steel barrels.
Yes.
Steel barrels, yes. And so yeah, I basically am pitching like a distillery of these liquors using the Revavroom, and with that, I'm going to make a sidecar cocktail.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sidecar being an infamous, some might say, cocktail that's named after the motorcycle sidecars. And this one recipe that I found uses a kind of gin that's purple called Empress Gin. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that we can use some of that, the Revavroom gin that ends up turning purple because of the poison left over in the pipes. And then you add that with, so you make the drink with that, Cointreau, lemon juice, simple syrup, and then you can garnish it with some lemon and then some sugar as well. So it's a pretty simple kind of like classic cocktail, I guess you might say. Little sugary, mainly very sour and heavy on the alcohol, but yeah, that's the cocktail that I prepared. That's the recipe.
Did someone ride a sidecar in the movie Wild Hogs? I feel like at one point there was like a funny joke where they like were in there and then they split off. Or is that an animated cartoon that I'm thinking?
That feels like
I think that
Sounds
was
like
in
Scooby-Doo.
I think that was in the third Wallace and Gromit short, A Close Shave.
True.
Where Wallace is driving one of the main motorcycle, and Gromit's riding in the sidecar, and they split up and come back together.
It's also in the movie Wild Hogs.
Nice.
Nice.
It is.
Okay. I mean, there's lots of great sidecar bits to be had. Well, everyone loves a sidecar. One time I saw it in real life, and there was a dog riding in there with goggles, and I was like, this is just excellent.
Yes.
But it's not the only car-themed cocktail in the world.
What?
as I discovered when I was doing some research.
There isn't like a Bugatti cocktail or whatever.
Well, there isn't a Bugatti cocktail, sorry to say, but I did find from motortrend.com a list of car-themed cocktails to rev up your virtual happy hour.
Okay.
Because it was written April 3rd, 2020.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow, they were on top of it.
Yeah.
okay.
On top of it.
They should make a slight adjustment and say a bunch of cars themed cocktails to lighten up your virtual happy hour. Ka-chow.
They didn't step into cars. These guys are more Top Gear than they
Okay.
are on the Lightning McQueen spectrum of cars. If you
The
catch my
Lightning
drift.
McQueen spectrum.
Yeah.
But I thought this article was really funny, so I'm going to read some of it. And I'm curious if you have any cocktails that come to mind that you can already guess are like car based.
Margarita. Cargarita. There you go.
I was like, you didn't even try that one.
Cargarita.
This is gonna be tough. Okay.
Cadillac.
As we've been
I think a
informing you
Cadillac
here-
is one.
Yes.
Cadillac is one of them. Yes,
Old
it is.
fashioned, but it's called Oldsmobile.
There is an Oldsmobile reference at the end.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. I can't believe they didn't do Cargarita. That was a gimme.
Margarita is not a gimme.
You can have that one
Cadillac
for free.
Margarita is a gimme. So, okay. They write, as we've been informing you here, auto racing is all canceled or postponed. Ditto auto production, auto shows, classic concours, which I don't even know what that is, cars and coffee confabs, and pretty much everything else for the next several weeks.
Well,
Which we all
Bump
remember
that up
this,
to
right?
years? I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, but all of the car people their whole world shut down, as it did for all of us. If all of this has you on edge, perhaps there's no better time to engage in a bit of social drinking via video chat, at least
hell
from
yeah.
a public
Fuck
safety
yeah.
standpoint, what with no subsequent need to operate a motor vehicle.
Oh, no cars, no rules.
I could drink as much as I want.
So if you're craving car companionship and a social outlet, why not log on to a platform like Zoom, etc., to quaff and converse with your car crazy pals from the safety of your quarantine?
Fuck.
Appropriately
Wow.
used Zoom for that one. That's good.
Yeah, because you're going fast in your car.
So there's a bunch on here. It goes on and on and on. There's things like the Ferrari, which is nothing but like liqueurs, different kinds of liqueurs put together. There is the Cadillac, obviously, Rolls Royce. Like there's a bunch of like kind of like old people cocktails. That's just basically just like some alcohol and like maybe an ice cube.
Where's my smart car? Where's the?
They don't have smart car.
Do they have a Rivian cocktail?
They don't have a Rivian. They have one called the other great thing is that all of these have like they're written by different people and they all are really silly because they're so obsessed with cars that like every sentence basically has to come back to cars at some point. So it's great to hear them describe cocktails because people like Ed Lowe write about a cocktail called the Dodge Special and write any surprise this one is potent and in your face? Well, 3 ounces of 94 and 80 proof alcohol mean the fire in this baby is very much forward.
Oh man, can't go anywhere. Time to get absolutely fucking plastered.
Yeah, like, you needed some fucking white lightning, moonshine, baby.
Jeez.
To get the ½ ounce of grape juice, I smashed 4 grapes into the shaker, along with the ice. Like traction control on a Viper ACR, the grape flavor does little to mask intent, which is to get the party started in a hurry.
Oh.
And the SRT Viper cover, that's a proof of a different kind, of our June 2012 supercar issue. The 5th color gold background has faded to a muddy brown, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it was our best-selling issue that year. Special
Wow.
Dodge indeed.
Wow.
This sounds like an I think you should leave sketch.
Yeah, I don't know, man. they got it. Everyone was on the struggle bus in early 2020, so I get it. But it's so funny to read an article to be like, yeah, things are bad. You should just drink a lot.
Hey, they
Well,
basically
and that every
invented
one of these
to-go cocktails. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that every one of these has to do somewhat with cars.
Yes.
Like, they're car journalists or
Yeah.
commentators, I guess.
It almost makes me want to be a car person.
Almost.
I'll send you this article.
Just being in, being in
I mean,
that sort of cultural space where it's just like...
I mean,
You're like when you like I don't know, turn your sink on. You're like, it's like revving the engine of getting water into this cup.
Just being able to like talk with such confidence that everyone there's going to be like,
yeah.
I get it.
Yep.
You,
I
you
get
and
you.
your buds sitting in rocking chairs just talking about old Corvettes.
Yeah.
The last one on this list I think is perfect because it kind of sounds like an I Choose You recipe. And it is the Oldsmobile that is written by Christian Seabaugh, who writes, given my inability to extricate myself from my pajamas, I couldn't be bothered to sneak out of the house to go pick up ingredients to make a car-themed cocktail.
I couldn't be bothered.
I still wanted to catch up with the coworkers, though. So between a half bottle of old Overholt rye that I had on hand and some random beers, I figured old Overholt, with the help of a Sharpie, could be made most car-like. It's not my favorite rye whiskey, but sometimes the best drink is the one you have on hand.
That's true.
It's very true.
So anyway, I wanted to share that list. I'll share the actual list with you, since it sounds like there's a lot of enthusiasm.
It'd be more fitting. Can you like print this out and send it to us?
Yeah, mail it to us.
I feel like that's the vibe.
Or you've like printed to PDF and then you email us that.
Yeah.
All right. My recipe this week, I guess it's appropriate, is dessert. Ho! You've drank two very alcoholic beverages, and you've had some nice barbecue, and you're like, you know what would help me finish off the evening? And I was kind of inspired by the Revavroom's mouth. You look at it, and it kind of gives a little bit of a vibe of an Oreo.
Oh, the real
got-
mouth, yeah.
Yes, the real
mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the teeth, I guess, kind of look like the outside of a sandwich cookie, and it's got the filling in the center, a chocolate filling, perhaps. But we also have kind of like the pink stylings, or purple stylings of the Revavroom, which I guess is to insinuate like the noxious fumes that are coming out of it, but made me think of a delicious dessert from the Pacific, the ube cake. So I'm gonna make a Oreo ube cake this week for our dessert, and basically what that's gonna entail is you're going to be making a traditional layer cake out of ube, which is like the purple yam-like substance from the Philippines. And you're going to be basically putting a cookies and cream Oreo filling between each layer of the ube cake that you're going to use it, and you're going to use that as the frosting on the outside as well. I was thinking like for the Oreo kind of aesthetic as well, we can maybe put a kind of a chocolate layer on top of the cake, and then have the cookies and cream frosting as the center and outside frostings for the layer cake. So we've got 3 purple layers of cake. We've got the frosting, and then we've got the chocolate layer on top. How am I going to incorporate the Revavroom in this? I really didn't think about that. I was like, it's going to kind of look like the Revavroom. But since everyone's talking about, Evan?
I was going to say, are the teeth, is it just the steel, or is it like fondant teeth?
Yes, you can use fondant to make the teeth shapes on the outside as well. Like, we're going full Cake Boss on this bitch kind of situation.
Cake Boss.
Yes, Ben, do you not approve of the Cake Boss?
I approve. I think.
Okay, good. That's good. So to incorporate the Revavroom a little bit is we talked about using him as a drink mixer, as a smoker, as a various
Midnight
other
toker?
Yes. But let's say we can use him as perhaps an oven for our cooking needs this week to make our cake in. We're using the Pokemon as a cooking device, hardware instead of software. I think is perfectly reasonable. So we'll make a Revavroom looking mouth inside of the Revavroom mouth. So you cook that bad boy up, bring it out. Maybe Team Star's having a party on this Revavroom. You cut it up, it's their birthday, and they each get a slice of your delicious ube Oreo cake.
I'm going to start calling my food software.
That is actually something that Alton Brown does on Good
really?
Eats.
Fuck.
Yes.
All right.
He calls all when he's like the recipe, the hardware is the physical cooking utensils you'll be using, and the software are the food ingredients that you'll be using.
So that was very Alton Brown coded of you to say
Alton
that.
knows best. Yeah.
Yes.
In line with your character.
Yeah, 100%. That's my recipe.
So we haven't talked about this yet, but are there any ethics around the unsustainable fuel source required to make the Revavroom vroom? If you know what I mean.
What I mean, it's like causing climate change or whatever.
Well, it says it eats rocks. It says it combines minerals from rocks to make the fuel that it needs.
The Squirtles yearn for the mines.
Yes. Does it run on the coal Pokemon from Generation 8? Like you're just
It doesn't.
Put more Pokemon inside of it.
That's not a bad idea.
It doesn't. Let me find the exact phrasing. So the mouth, right? Okay.
Well, while you find that, there's a form of this that is called the Navi Starmobile.
Hell yeah, baby! Avatar 3 coming out this year.
Okay, so it says it can create gas by combining the minerals in the rocks with its poison. The gas is then detonated in its cylinders to generate energy for itself. Right.
Oh,
okay.
so it's self-sustaining is what we're saying.
This aggressive Pokemon uses the sounds of its exhaust to threaten foes. Oh, that's a little bit scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's like cars. It's like how if you rev your engine with your car, you're like, showing aggression kind of situation.
It coal rolls its enemies.
Yes.
Do you think a Revavroom would be caught dead with a Trump flag waving in the back?
Oh no! Oh god, it's honestly kind of giving. So, not gonna lie.
Yeah. You know what? Fucking Pokemon World. That looks like they got renewable energy solved. So all I'm saying is that we can burn as much coal on this baby as we want to. I'm never gonna die.
Which generation had the open plains with the wind farm? Do you know what I'm talking about?
That was last. That was Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So they have the concept, and I think there's nuclear energy also discussed somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is.
So, yeah.
It's not a problem for you though, and when you're imagining this in your cake baking scenario, it's not an issue.
Yeah,
I think at a certain point when you're cooking and eating Pokemon, all morality just goes out the window. You just gotta
whoa!
You just gotta live that life, baby.
They're not even people.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
What do we got from Ian? We have Wild Hogs Revavroom Barbecue. From Evan Aubrey, we have Revavroom. What was your drink? It was
Wild Hog.
Wild Hog is your specific drink. From Ben, we have Revavroom Sidecar, and from me, we have Revavroom Ube Oreo Cake. I want everyone to vote now, and then Ben will tell us who the winner mon is.
Oh goodness. It's a tie.
Oh god damn!
It's a dead heat tie.
Between
it's between me and Ian.
Okay.
Nice.
With 2 votes each.
All right, gonna go right to the Discord right now. Vote for Ben or Ian. All right. I'll make sure to remember to get a poll up for that. We're recording these a little bit in advance, so I have to make sure my schedule is. I got a reminder for that one. Let's pick next week's Pokemon in a section I like to call Pick-a-mon. Evan, could you give me a number between, let's see if I can remember it, 906 and 1037?
All right.
Oh, no, it's 1025. Excuse me.
Wait a minute. It gave me the same number. Hold on.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it just broke.
Well, I'm using ChatGPT to give me the Pokemon itself.
Oh.
It doesn't even know.
1005.
1005. This is going to be another one of those dumb ones that has a silly name.
Oh boy.
This one is called Roaring Moon.
Roaring Moon.
And it's a
These
version.
names.
It's the version of Salamence from the past.
What?
Oh, it's kind of sweet actually. It looks like
Yes.
Superman and a
It
bird.
looks kind of like a crescent moon kind of situation.
What?
This is wild.
It's,
Oh.
it's like the paradox Pokemon. So it's the one you travel in past to the past for kind of situation.
This is kind of like, I don't know. This is interesting.
Anyway, send your Roaring Moon recipes to ichoosepod@gmail.com.
It's a little goblin coded.
A little bit.
So I think it's a little bigger than a goblin. Anyway, let's do the plugging round. Tell us where you can find you on the internet, Ben.
You can find me at Ben C. Montoya on Instagram or thefearnow.tumblr.com.
Let's go to Ian.
You can follow me at Musician Davis. I play bass.
All right, Evan.
You can follow me on Threads at _Van Aubrey.
All right, and you can follow me on Blue Sky at Velocity Prime 1, Tumblr Velocity Prime No 1, and the website the-avocado.org. That's the-avocado.org. Jeremy Zelick, check it out. And now the wrapping up section of the show. This has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can follow us on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages on Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and Tumblr. If you want, well, I guess TikTok not that much longer. We'll see about that. And then don't forget to join the Discord, the I Choose You Discord. Links are available in the episode descriptions. You can hang out with fellow choosies, submit recipes, and participate in community events, all on the I Choose You Discord. Last but not least, check out our official website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode and archive and merch store. That's ichooseyou.menu. And that's been the show, and I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zelick.
Been your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Been your Tim Allen, Ian Davis.
And riding my hog into the sunset, Evan Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
I wanna be the greatest chef, like no one ever was. To cook them is my real test, to taste them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the flavor that's inside. I choose you, gotta cook 'em. It's you and me. Ben, Evan, and Jeremy, I choose you. Oh, we're your best friends. In this world we must digest. I choose you, gotta cook 'em all. Our appetite will pull us through. You roast me and I